What's up, Yugi Tubers? This is the Harpy Hunter. In case you can't tell, I'm at a laundromat. I'm doing my laundry. I decided to take this time to just make a few pointer videos, give people tips. This one in particular is a how to prepare for regionals video. And these tips can be used not only for regionals, but for any major event, YCSs, nationals, stuff like that. One thing that I like to do is a few days before the event, I go online and I print off the paperwork I need for the event, the deck list forms, the entry forms, stuff like that. This is advantageous, I've found, because you don't want to get there and then stand in line for hours and hours, or for an hour or so, whatever, how long it takes. Just filling out the paperwork and getting ready to register. If you print the papers off a couple days before and fill them out, you already have your papers ready when you get to the event, and you just go up and register and turn in your papers, and you'll be one of the first ones registered. It saves time that you can use to trade or mingle, kind of scope out the competition, stuff like that. The next thing I do is the night before, I always make sure I have a good night's sleep. I usually go to bed early, that way I can wake up. The regionals I usually go to are about an hour drive away, so waking up early is a good thing for me. There's a lot of people that'll stay up late, 2, 3 a.m., dueling their buddies, fine tuning their decks, things like that. Me, I like to make sure I have all that done a few days in advance. Then I take a little breather, that way I'm not burnt out. And then I get a good night's sleep, that way I can rest and be prepared for the tournament to come. Tip number 3, make sure you have all your cards together. Whatever you're taking up there to trade, make sure you have packed in your bag. Whatever you're taking up there to sell, make sure you have that packed up. Your decks you want packed up. You do this the night before to pretty much save time because you don't want to be rushing around in the morning trying to make sure you have everything. Then you get to the event and realize you forgot something. Tip number 4 I have is don't assume you're going to make it to the event on time. Doesn't matter what event you're going to, you never know how long registration is going to end. Prime example, I live in Tahlequah, Oklahoma. I went to an event this past weekend in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Usually the events I go to are in Tulsa, which is about an hour drive away from me. Well, the cap off for this event was $250, I believe it was. The cap off for the events I usually go to in Tulsa are about $250 as well. In Tulsa, they usually wind up doing registration for about an hour, hour and a half, because of the number of people that show up. Unfortunately, I left about an hour later than I wanted to this past weekend. I get up there and they're already almost done with round 2. So you want to make sure you leave early enough in the morning to get to the event on time, preferably early. If registration starts at 10, try to get there about 8:30, 9 o'clock. Because a lot of times they'll start registration early, or registration will end sooner than you think. Tip number 5, don't skip breakfast. Okay, if you're driving a ways to get to the event, at least pick up McDonald's or Burger King for breakfast on your way up there. If you are hungry because you missed breakfast, then you're not going to be thinking straight. It's the same reason you want to get enough sleep. That way your head's on clear, you've got a clear mind. Uh, Also, don't assume that the event you're going to is going to have concessions. All right, most events do, but sometimes they don't. What I like to do is, at the very least, pack a small lunch. Maybe a couple peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, a ham sandwich, or like leftover dinner products that you don't need to reheat, like pasta or something like that. Bring leftover pizza. Just make sure you have something to eat because if you're going to an all-day event, one that lasts, 10 a.m. when registration starts, go to 8, 9 p.m. at night, there's no guarantee there's going to be concessions or even a lunch break during the event. Uh, as is the case that happened, not too long ago when I went to an event in Tulsa. Apparently, there was no lunch break like some events have, and I had my own lunch. I brought some stuff up for myself, but like I said, they didn't have a concession break or a lunch break halfway through the event like they usually do. So you always want to make sure you pack at least a small lunch just in case. Tip The next tip I want to give: make sure you have plenty of money. All right, for especially for like most like event. Got a little tongue tied there. I went to nationals. I like to go to national event or not nationals, regional events. I like to play them. And their entry fees is usually $20. Right. Uh, the first regional I ever went to, it was at the BOK Center in Tulsa. And what happened was the event orchestrators and Konami's online site didn't mention that there would be a parking fee at the center that they were using. Well, I got up there, found out there was a parking fee, and I didn't have enough money set aside for it. So my option was not have enough money for food or find somewhere else to park. I wound up actually parking 2 blocks away and nearly missed registration because of it. The final tip I have is, like I said earlier, you know, make sure you have the proper things you need. Okay, I'm not just talking about cards and decks. Okay, most events they require you to have a specific type of sleeve that isn't marked on the back with pictures and stuff. Just plain sleeves. Ultra Pro has sleeves. Deck Pro has the plain sleeves. And you also need an individual deck box. If you have a multi-deck box, you can use it, but you can only have one deck in the box. All right. Ideally, you want a single deck box. The single deck boxes, in my opinion, and I've actually seen this, help prevent your opponent from claiming that you're hiding cards in your deck box and stuff like that. Um, while you're actually at the event, never ever leave your stuff unattended. I cannot tell you the number of times I've been at an event and people's stuff has gotten stolen. All right, binders, decks, mats, you name it, it's been stolen at an event. So you never want to leave your stuff unattended while you're at a major event like this. Okay, and that doesn't just go for players as well. All right, if a judge does a random deck check on you, you let them know you want to watch them at the judge table while they're doing the deck check. I say this because the last regional qualifier I went to up in Tulsa, this was about a month or so ago, one of the players up there, did a random deck check on this player. All right, the judge took the deck box and the deck, they took it up to the judge table. 30 minutes later, the guy did not get his deck and deck box back. He goes up to the judge table, and the judge tells him that his box and deck has been misplaced. Because of this, he had to drop and was disqualified because he did not have a legal deck. All right, the judges wouldn't even let him use an alternate deck, despite the fact that the judges were the ones that had his deck in their possession when it was lost/stolen. Nobody really knows what happened to it. So always make sure, even if you have a random deck check, if the judge is messing with your deck, make sure your card or your property, your cards, your deck, your deck box, whatever they take, is in your sight at all times. That's about it for this video. I hope you've learned some valuable stuff from this, just from my personal knowledge and stuff, my personal experiences. I just wanted to try and share those with you. If you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel. It's a pretty new channel, but I'm going to try to have a new video up at worst every 2 weeks. I'm going to try to have a new video up, whether it be a top 10 list or an advice list or a deck list. or deck profile. I'll try to have something up at least every 2 weeks. I'm gonna start doing some pack openings, try to get that done. By the end of this week, I should have some deck profiles and some top tens up. But anyway, like I said, like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave your comments in the box below. If there's something you want to see on this channel specifically, let me know in the comment section below. I'm always willing to take new ideas into consideration, at least test them out for 1 or 2 videos to see how well they do. With that, I'm going to end this video, and I hope to see you later.